Welcome to Housing Building Digest series number 2, which is on roles of different players. My name is Shailesh Agrawal, Executive Director of BMTPC. BMTPC is an organization under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, which is given a mandate to promote and propagate alternate and innovative building materials and construction systems in the field. Through this building digest series, BMTPC is making an attempt to create awareness about the various facets of housing construction by owners. As explained in the previous slide, construction of house is a multidisciplinary task involving large number of professionals and non-professionals in the field of construction besides the owner. Therefore, it is important to have qualified experienced professionals on one hand and on other hand supervise the work properly as it is being executed by a set of skilled as well as unskilled workers at site. Also, it is important to use good quality branded building materials such as cement, steel, bricks, paints, pipes, fittings, equipment, sanitary and water pipes, preferably of ISI mark, so as to give good end product that is your house. The role of contractor, which we hire for construction, has equally important role to play because he has to mobilize his resources to ensure timely completion of desired quality of house. Also, skilled workforce like mason, carpenters, plumbers, electricians has very important role to play with the help of semi-skilled, unskilled workers. This digest will briefly elaborate on roles of major players involved in house construction. This slide presents you the major players that are involved in house construction: the owner, the authority, which approves the house plan, architects and engineers who help us with architectural and engineering design of the house, contractor who build the house, and others skilled, semi-skilled and skilled workers. Each has major role to play with the overall objective of delivering a good quality, comfortable house with desired specifications and workmanship, fulfilling the local bylaws. Let me briefly explain each player's role to all of you. First is the owner, that is we ourselves. Owner is the key person, and therefore the owner has to ensure that he has the legal right over the plot of land over which house is to be constructed. Also, the owner has to coordinate with all professionals and people involved right from the planning and construction stage with a view to obtain building approvals, other permits, completion certificate, and its occupancy. The selection of architect also lies with owner, and it is important to have experienced and professional architect. The civil engineer or structural engineer is also required, and the responsibility lies with the owner for selection of a structural engineer. Also, the contractor, supervisor, and other personals are required to be selected by owner. It is important to note that owner should ensure safety at his or her site and shall not cause inconvenience to others in terms of noise, dust, etc. The next player involved is authority, which means housing board or development authority or municipality, as the case may be. The rules and regulations prescribed by authority need to be followed religiously. It is often seen that owners try to bypass these rules. However, let me remind you that these bodies are set up through central and state acts and responsible for plan development of area, and they have jurisdiction and power for sanctioning building permits as per building bylaws, and at the same time issue notice to stop the work if not done in line with the building bylaws. Therefore, authority has important role to play in construction of house. Also, they may make inspections from time to time and give directions. To obtain building permit, the housing plan and Other documents along with fees need to be submitted to the authority. Normally, the application is scrutinized and building permit is granted within a stipulated time frame. The details of documents to be submitted, forms, etc. uh, are easily available nowadays online. Another important aspect is that authority have impaneled list of architects, engineers, advocates, construction engineers who are eligible to facilitate the construction process and sign the application and other documents along with owners. Remember, authority are authorized to impose penalties as well if the work is not done properly. The next person is architect. Architect is defined as a person who makes architectural plan and workable drawings for your house and also helps you guide through the building construction and suggests different fittings, products, etc. Architect has multiple roles to play, such as supervising the construction, preparing the plan as per requirement of the owner, facilitate submission of application and its approval. The architect should also be well versed with the local specification of construction, choice of building materials, etc. Normally, ensuring compliances with all procedural requirements specified by local authorities, along with information regarding progress, etc., lies with the architect along with the owner. It is seen that architects normally hire civil engineers who help them carry out structural design of the house. Let me clearly tell my viewers that structural design is different from architectural design. Architectural design is all about actual forms and shape of the house, that is plan, elevations, sections, whereas structural design is about sizes of foundations, beams, columns, slabs, along with number of steel bars required. Normally, the structural design is done through structural analysis and must for making your house strong, stable, and safe from natural hazards. On account of recent earthquakes, recurrent earthquakes, and having damages to the houses, authorities nowadays require a structural engineer to authenticate the structural safety of the house being constructed. Therefore, structural engineer has a role to scrutinize, verify, and certify the structural design and specification of the proposed house complying with building bylaws. The structural safety certificate also need to be given by the structural engineer. The next most important person for house construction is the contractor, who has wide range of roles, duties, and responsibilities. He is the one who manages the construction and ensures that all necessary measures are taken which result in quality finished product. The contractor need to plan and carry out all the activities related with construction of your house. He needs to supervise his employees and do the planning how the construction will be carried out and completed in line with the laws, rules, and regulations. The most important role for contractor is to plan and schedule the construction. By doing so, requirements of construction material at different stages, requirement of labor, tool, and plants, water, power can be ascertained from time to time. Equipments like concrete mixture, welding machines, strainers, centering, and shuttering material are to be hired by the contractor. Further, the materials required from time to time need to be procured by the contractor so as to avoid large spaces for storage and uh, block funds. The record of skilled and unskilled workers being employed at site is also the responsibility of contractor. Besides, he has to ensure safety of labor during construction process and provide temporary accommodation to them at site. The building contractor is the most important individual who can resolve issues in expeditious manner, as delay once will delay the entire house construction. Besides, contractor should be experienced enough to deal with exigencies at site. There are many others who are relevant to the owner, such as electrician, plumber, sanitary expert, supervisor, security personnel who help in timely completion of your house. At last, as explained you through this digest, there are large number of players involved in construction of house, and each one of them has a specific role to play. However, the roles may overlap, but owner has to coordinate effectively in order to get maximum returns of the money spent. I leave you all with the typical activity flow chart for the house construction, which uh, involves owner to acquire land, hire an architect, finalize building plans, sections, specifications, finalize estimates and documents for submission to authorities, submit complete plans, documents, fees to authority for obtaining building permit, await permission from authority, and in the meantime finalize contractor and submit application for building permit. Commence construction uh, after obtaining the building permit, keep check on physical and financial progress, and obtain completion certificate when the house is completed, and then occupy the house and live happily. This building digest number 2 could throw light on different players involved in house construction and can be downloaded from www.bmtpc.org. The next topic to be covered will be procedures and terminologies. Thank you.